Alrighty, 9 minutes past 7 p.m. And of course, when it's 7 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM on Thursdays, you look forward to some of the most intriguing conversations that are had on radio on this beautiful program that we call Personality Profile. My name is Kofi Hayford. I'm sitting in for Lexus Bale. Tonight's conversation is one that you'd love. It's, a combination of an emotional one, a story that would inspire you so much. I'm going to have a conversation with a man who turned unimaginable hardships into, a mission that is changing lives across Ghana. From surviving child slavery to becoming a banking professional, a bank manager, if you like, and now a relentless advocate for children. Now, his journey is nothing short of extraordinary. He is the founder of Challenging Heights. Maybe you have heard about it. I'm pretty sure you've heard about Challenging Heights. It's an organization that is at the forefront of rescuing, rehabilitating, and empowering children who are affected by trafficking and exploitation. Now, one thing that makes his story intriguing and interesting, which is why you should hear it, is because he himself has survived child labor in the past. And his work now, very impactful, has been recognized globally. And of course, he's been named a hero by the World's Children's Prize. By now, you have an idea whom I'm talking about. Mr. James Kofi Annan is my guest. Mr. Annan, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. I was telling you backstage, how long it's been me looking for you.
Yeah,
Not for personality profile, though,
yeah,
but
for other things.
yes, as the universe would have it, we had to meet today, and it's such a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And it's always my pleasure to come to this studio. So.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Yeah.
The first thing I actually want to know is the name Kofi Annan. It's always,
You too
ignited. It's always ignited a certain inquisitivity in me.
So
are you connected to him?
I am not.
Okay.
And finally, I just started writing my book, and first chapter is focused on the name.
Right.
Because there's nowhere I've gone in the world, anywhere in the world, that I don't have that question being asked of me.
Kofi Annan.
And so I've explained this thing like 1 million times already in the world. So I'm not related to him. Of course, you know that Kofi is a Friday name.
That's right.
I was actually not born on Friday.
Okay.
I was born on Saturday. But for some reason, I bear the name Kofi. And then, Annan is a name. It's a surname. But my Annan is coming from my father's position at birth.
Okay.
So my father is the fourth successive son of his mother. So it's called Annan. We have Mensa.
Right, the
then
third.
We have the third. And then we have Annan.
The fourth.
So my father is Annan. And then because my father didn't go to school, when I went to school, I just needed a surname. And I mentioned that as my surname. And whoever was the teacher who wrote my surname spelled it Annan.
Wow.
So that's how, my name became. But also the James, I was named after the Odifun Kansen, African Faith Tabernacle Church.
Right.
My both parents were pastors in that church.
Oh.
And I was also born a pastor in that church.
What do you mean by that?
So, according to the story, my mother had 12 children, and I'm the last born of the 12 children. But my mother's 11th child died. And women, one child dying out of 12, she was weeping. And so the pastor, the prophet then, James Kwame Kansen, prophesied to my mother that she will have another child, and that when that child is born, it should be named after him. So then when I was born, automatically I was named after
James.
the man. And the man also insisted that the first clothes that should be put on me should be the pastoral clothes of the church. That is the white and red. So my first clothes was that pastoral clothes, and so I was ordained as a pastor from birth.
Wow.
And
That's
so,
interesting.
and this since the man was James, I also took the name James. Yes.
It's only the Kwame that you didn't take, even though you were born on
And
Saturday.
so when I was young, everybody called me Kwame Nkansen. That was my name at birth, Kwame Nkansen. You know, but education changed things, and you know, by virtue of my story and history at birth and all of that, my name kept changing. At a point in time, I was called Peter. At a point in time, I was called so many other names.
Interesting, but I'm very interested in the Kofi.
Okay.
Yeah, how come? Where from the Kofi?
So according to my mother, I am Kwame.
Okay.
According to my paternal uncle, who was the only educated person amongst my father's siblings,
Right.
I was born in the night, prior to midnight.
Oh, I know that kind of story.
So
there's a little confusion over there.
He insisted that I am Kofi.
Okay.
You know, so, and he was the only educated person,
Right.
and there was no watch at that time.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know. Sometimes it's just so unfair,
right?
That I don't know who I am.
Yeah. Oh, well, I've learned a couple of stories like that. So yeah, it's all good. I think what matters most is who you have become. But before we delve into who you have become, I'd like to stay a little bit around your childhood, right? What kind of childhood did you have?
Well, so I was born in Winneba, in then a small village called Sanko. And Sanko itself was a settled village. So my parents used to live in a place called Twansa. But in 1961, according to the story, there was a big flood that displaced them. So all of them moved to the small village, another village called Sanko. So that's where I was born. And that's where I grew up. And I've told you the story when my mother became pregnant, everyone in the village asked her to abort me.
Right.
Because they feared that she was going to die and I was not going to survive. My mother was almost 50 years.
Wow.
At that time.
When she had you?
When she had me. And already at 50, she had given birth to 11 children. Already. And in a village too at that time, there was no medical care. So it was this traditional birth attendant. And those days, they were not being trained.
Right.
So that was the story of go and abort him.
Right.
Abort the baby. And then he traveled to Enyinem to visit this prophet that I mentioned, James Kwame Nkansen. And that is when the prophecy came that don't abort the baby. Have the baby, and that when you have him, name him after me. So that was my birth. Then I grew up there until I was 6 years.
Okay.
I grew up among so many children who were not going to school because, as I said, it was a village. There was no school there. Then at the age of 6, I was sent to Lake Volta, the water lake that you know. And in Sanko, when I was growing up, almost every home had been affected by trafficking. So, like when you are born, let's say 8 out of 10, you'll be sent to Lake Volta. It was so popular that parents were just giving their children out and taking money, like virtually selling them to go and work. So 6 years I was also taken there. I started from Yeji to Accra town, Nkwanta, Bupe, Rome, BBC, Nigeria camp, like Adan, Agege, so many villages. In fact, I work in about 20 different communities on the lake. From age...
You worked?
Yes, I worked. From age 6. And I worked day and night. It's a fishing work, a fishing business.
Were you with one person in all these communities? I
was with 15 different masters for the 7-year period that I worked there.
7 years?
7 years.
So until you turned 13?
Until I turned 13.
What kind of work were you doing on the boats?
Basically fishing. I was paddling canoe. I was casting nets, different methods of nets. I was pulling net back. I was mending nets, removing fishes, scooping water from the boats. I was diving under the lake to remove trap nets. And you know the diving situation. When the lake was created in the early 1960s, it overflew its banks. And so it covers a lot of trees. And those trees are quality trees. So for so many years, decades, they've not gotten rotten. And because the lake had submerged some of the trees, when the fishermen are casting their net, they don't see the trees.
Right.
So they cast them around it. And when the net is entangled, instead of pulling it and tearing it, they would rather send a child, because you buy a net for about 3,000 Ghana cedis, but maybe you bought a child for 100 Ghana cedis. So the net is more expensive than the child.
And more valuable than the child.
Exactly. So instead of tearing the net, you rather send a child down to remove the trap net. If the child dies, there's no news. No. And
did you witness any of the kids passing away when
a lot of
you
them
were on the boat?
The day I was trafficked, we were 6 who were trafficked together. 3 of us survived. The other 3 did not survive. And all the 3 that did not survive were as a result of the diving.
Wow.
Yes. So it's a whole lot of different schedules. And at that time, too, even now, there was no medical care there. You know, these are highlands, villages that are very remote. So I worked there for a cumulative period of 7 years. And then I came at the age of 13. At the age of 13, I didn't know how to write A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3.
I was going to ask you if you had any sort of education between age 6 and 13.
What I know is at the age of 13, I didn't know how to write A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3. So on the lake, there's no school. So how would you even go to school in the first place? So there was no school at all. So when I came, I knew that the only way to remain in Winneba was to go to school.
Okay. Before you tell us about how you ended up in school when you returned to Winneba, how did you leave child trafficking? How did you escape?
Okay. So there's another very regular question. So whilst on the lake, the news came in 1987 that Odifu Kwame Nkrumah had died, the founder of the African Faith Tabernacle Church. And the church, I'm told, had decided that anyone who was ordained a pastor at birth and anyone who was named after him should necessarily be brought to the funeral. Okay. Otherwise, there will be consequences on anyone who prevented the child from being brought to the funeral. So the person that I was working with at the time was also a member of the African Faith Tabernacle Church. And as I said, my parents were also pastors of the church, so they had to look for me. It took my mother more than 3 weeks to be able to find the village where I was living. And then they brought me to Enyinem.
For the funeral. Yes, I know Enyinem in the Ashanti region.
Just by the roadside. The church's headquarters is by the roadside. We had the funeral there, but at that time, myself and my mother were planning for me to run away. But the one who was working with me also came for the funeral with the intention that after the funeral, take me back. So while we were doing the funeral, my mother just came to me, crying, "Ba." And I said, Lord, I'm always in I said, have you seen the truck that is there? They are going to Winneba, so I want you to go with them. I said, okay. So I joined, and that was it. Joined to Winneba, and that was it. So even though I tried to escape so many times, I was caught, beaten, just like any other child who tried to escape. Finally, my escape became very simple.
Right.
Because of the way that things turn out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's very, and this is what a lot of the kids that have been trafficked on the Lake Volta are going through, even till now.
Even till now, I would say that the extent of abuse is not the same as when we were there.
But they are still trafficked anyway.
But they are still trafficked. They still do the same work. Just the number of hours of work is what I see as reduced.
Okay.
We used to work about 17 hours a day.
You are joking.
Yes, 17 hours a day, even more. In fact, there were times that you go to work at dawn around 3 a.m. and you continue working until your masters will be bringing you food whilst you are working. So you keep working, and then they will bring you food to eat, and then they will cut the fish back to the village, and then you keep working.
Wow.
When it's raining, you just go to the nearest shore and turn your boat, and then just stay under to avoid the rain.
So were you doing these things with your masters, or the children are left alone to do these things?
The masters have captains. So there's the captains that hold the children. The masters normally will not be part of the work, actual work. You know, they have probably, some have 3, 4, 5, 6 different boats or canoes that they control, all with children and some young adults. And then they distribute those boats or canoes to their wives. So I remember the last but one master that I work with is called Abojise. So when I saw you, Abojise, maybe. So Abojise is from Ningo.
Okay.
He was from Ningo. He had 6 wives and 6 canoes. So each wife controlled one, and then he was the overall.
Okay.
And so we had us, the children, always working for
see.
him.
I want to talk about the education bit, but let me announce. I mean, if you're just joining us, we are having a conversation with the CEO and the founder of Challenging Heights, Mr. James Kofi Annan, and this is Personality Profile. We're streaming live on YouTube. The handle is Joy997. You can leave your comments there. We'll definitely read them. If you have any questions, for Mr. James Annan, we're accepting them and we'll definitely ask him. Now, let's talk about your time in Winneba. You have arrived at age 13 and you had to learn, you had to educate yourself, or were you put in school? What happened when you got to Winneba?
So when I got to Winneba, my primary goal was to go to school for a number of reasons. My mother felt that after 12 children, at least one of them must go to school, because none of my siblings went to school.
Out of the 10?
At the other 11.
One had passed, right?
When I was back in Winneba, a number of them had passed.
Oh, too bad.
But she was like, out of 12 children, at least the
one
last
must be educated. Okay.
must be educated. So she was always forcing for that to happen. But also, she was always very happy when she heard somebody speaking English. And because of me, my mother had a lot of diseases. Like, because of the age at which she had me, she almost got paralyzed.
Oh.
She had BP in high levels.
Wow.
She had like several issues.
Right.
Sometimes when I'm mentioning them, I feel very emotional about it.
Right. Sorry.
So I wanted my mom to smile, like just be happy.
Yeah.
So if it is speaking English that will make her happy, I want to speak English. So that was also another reason. Then a third reason was that insofar as I was in school, it would be difficult for me to be trafficked.
True.
So let me put myself in school. So I started looking for school. No school was interested in taking me.
You didn't know anything?
I didn't know anything. 13 years. I was supposed to be in maybe Form 1 or Form 2.
Yes.
I didn't know anything.
You couldn't write your name?
I couldn't write even A, B, C, D or 1, 2, 3. And the way I looked like somebody with vengeance in my face.
Right.
That somebody who could abuse other children.
Yes, because of the experiences
you had
endured.
And I also had certain diseases myself, like bilharzia. If you know bilharzia,
yes.
Blood in urine.
Yes.
And when you are passing urine, you have to squeeze your abdomen. And I remember in one of the schools when I was going to seek for admission, I felt like urinating, and I had to do it, squeeze my abdomen, and then I got some urine out of it. It was very embarrassing.
Yeah.
So no one was interested in taking me. What class? Class 1 or Form 1? If you take me to class 1, I'm going to, abuse the children.
That's
if
true.
you take me to Form 1, I don't know
It
anything.
doesn't work.
So eventually, I got this school that had collapsed at that time that was looking for more children. It was a government school, a private school that had been turned into a government school called Life Corps. The assistant head who knew my parents said I should bring cassava sticks so that he could admit me.
So that's more like your school fees.
That not school fees, like in quotes,
Bribe. Interesting.
So, and my father was a peasant farmer, so cassava sticks were not difficult to get.
Deal, right?
So I got him the cassava stick. He was also trying to farm, like the assistant headmaster. So when I brought the cassava sticks, then he admitted me. But he put me in class 6 because they simply did not want to admit me. But I was putting pressure on them, like coming there almost every day. So just put him there, he himself will run away. But God meant it for something else.
Wow.
When I finally got into class 6, first term we were 9. Those days they arranged the class performance from first to the last person. Out of 9, I was the 9th person, obviously. But there's something that you will laugh about. The same teacher who admitted me was teaching both English and French and environmental studies.
Okay.
So at a point in time, he had done a French test, and I had scored 0. But it was a multiple fill-in blanks, like those ones that you have to fill in.
Yes.
So I copied the answers that he gave and went to chew, into my memory.
Right.
And the following day, the same person, gave us tests in French.
Okay.
After the environmental studies. So I thought that it was the same because I didn't know the difference between French and environmental studies.
This is very interesting.
So I copied the answers that he gave for environmental studies into the French spaces.
Wow.
And gave it to him. This man nearly killed me. He caned me till 2 canes got broken.
Wow.
And then he started kicking me on the floor. Like I felt he wanted to kill me.
Right.
Because it was annoying, right?
Right.
But I didn't give up still. Second term, we were 12 in the class. I was the 8th person. Third term, we were 15 in class. I was the 7th person.
Wow.
Then we were promoted to GHS 1.
So you kept improving?
I kept improving. I was part of the second batch of the new educational system then. So when we went to GHS 1, first term we were 20. I was the 6th person. Second term we were 20. I was 7th person.
Wow.
Third term we were 25. I was the 1st person.
Wow. That's impressive.
And since then, no one in the class ever overtook me in any of the 11 subjects that we were learning. So I completed school.
What was your secret?
I just learned. I had nothing to lose. I was an awful figure. I didn't have parents looking after me. I was plugging coconut myself to sell mangoes to sell. I was fishing still. Like, I was taking care of myself because my mom couldn't take care of me.
Right.
Yeah, so I was taking care of myself and I was not shy of anything. I just kept on reading, doing anything that would keep me in school. So when I started from the class 6, I was always going to kindergarten classes during the break.
Okay.
And ask them to teach me the ABCD. That's where I started. Then very quickly, within a week, I was able to then move to 2-letter words. Ab, ba.
So you were doing like extra classes during the breaks?
those kind of
that
things.
must have been hectic.
It was difficult combining it with work. Then very quickly I moved on to 3-letter words. Then I went to class 2. You know, those days they had days of the week, you know, in written on cardboard.
Yes.
So I went to them, teach me that kind of situation. Then eventually, gradually, I moved one class at a time. Was still in class 6 and improving. And within a matter of 6 months, it was very fast.
What did that journey teach you about human potential?
I feel that there's more who are unknown than known in terms of capacity, achievement, and all of that. Sometimes when you are doing your personality profiles, I hear people on how they started.
Right.
For me, I'm not a rich person. I don't have money, I would say. But I feel that journey and the influence that it has given me eventually tells me that as a nation, if we pay attention to every child, we can achieve more, far more than humanity can think of.
Right.
Because I was written off.
True.
Look, there was a gentleman called Paul Ninkra in my class. No, not in my class. He was in class 2. He challenged me to write number 5 on the ground. If I believe that I deserve to be in class 6 whilst he is in class 2, look at the humiliation in the midst of so many children surrounding me.
What happened?
And at that time I could write the number 5. So I just carefully designed number 5 on the floor. And then all of them erupted in
joy,
applause.
Yes.
He has been able to write number 5 in class
6.
If that chance had not been given to me, and if on the basis of this number 5 had been asked to go home, I don't think this number of children that I have been supporting, I don't think this influence I've had both in Ghana and abroad, I would have had them.
That's true.
So I think that the human capacity is beyond what we think, and we need to look at talent differently.
Right. Yeah. So okay, let's move away from that. You were done with your JSS of sixth form or whatever it was at the time.
It was JSS.
JSS, great.
And I set a record in the school.
What record was that?
I had 9 ones with grade 6.
I see.
And I grade 6 with 9 ones.
I see.
And since then, no one has gotten it. It's still there unbroken.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then you did SSS?
Yes, I went to Winneba Secondary School.
Winneba Secondary School.
Yes.
Nice.
Winneba School.
And what did you read?
I read business. It was Winneba Secondary School taught me a lot of lessons in life.
Share with us just about 2 of them.
I walked from Sanko to school every day, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. Whilst I was in JHS, I could go fishing. I could go mango hunting. I could do coconuts. I could do crabs, like hunting for crabs.
Right.
I could do all manner of work to get something. But SHS I couldn't do because the journey is far,
right,
and the academic demands were higher.
True.
So you needed to do empty stomach nearly every day.
So at this point, how are you fending for yourself?
Well, I was still doing weekends. In Winneba we have a festival called Akumasi, which is usually around August, September, October, thereabout. After the Akumasi, people then do funerals, mass funerals.
Right.
And at that time, only few people could read and write. So I will have my pen in my pocket and go funeral to funeral. Those who are doing the funeral, they want people to write their donations.
Right.
So they would ask me to write donations for them, write those who are donating. Then they'll give me money.
True.
I'll also split firewood on weekends. That one too was giving me money. coconut. We had a lot of coconuts by the beach.
True.
So I was climbing. I was one of the expert coconut climbers.
So you have been hustling your entire life.
I did
to
that.
a point.
Yes.
So after Winneba Secondary, you went to the university.
I went to University of Ghana.
Okay.
I was in Legon Hall. I was Legon Hall JCR secretary.
Okay.
And I did political science and psychology. Psychology major, political science minor. And then from there, I had a job with Barclays Bank.
How did that happen? And how did you feel when you got a job with Barclays Bank from a child trafficking victim to completing the university and getting a job with Barclays Bank?
The day I was called that I had been successful, so I should come for my appointment letter, I said, "Thank you, Jesus," like maybe 1,000 times. You know, just saying thank you, Jesus.
You couldn't believe it.
Because looking back, people, I mean, I'm sure all of us listening to me, a lot of people have gone through a life, you know, very difficult life.
True.
But when I look back, I feel life had been very, very unfair. To a child whose parents were unwell, who had to fend for himself, who had to catch up schooling, and obviously in poverty, and had no support. There were some scholarships in Winneba, but I didn't get some. And then I had to go through all of this. Eventually, in the University of Ghana, I survived on SNID loan. If you know SNID loan, student loan.
Right.
That's the only thing. And on top of that, my mom and my sister both died within 2 months when I was in second year.
At the university?
At the university.
So sorry.
And the details of what I went through, I can't talk about them. Sometimes when I start talking about them, I feel too emotional, but also how do I overcome even the thought of them? So that's why I'm putting it in a book now. Because some of them were very embarrassing. Some of the situations were very embarrassing. I remember one time, 3 days I had not eaten, and walking from Sanko to school and back. I went to my pastor. He's called Dr. Nim. I'm told now he's a professor, Professor Nim. He used to work with Pentecost University. And I passed there and said, "Pastor, today, dear, when I close from school, I want to come and eat from the house." I had not done it before because my mom told me that don't eat from outside because people will put spirit in food.
Right.
So me, I would never, no matter how hungry I was, I wouldn't take anyone's food. But it got to a point I realized that the human spirit was gone and I needed something in. So I went to, so after school I passed there. When I told the man in the morning, I think he didn't take it seriously. So he had finished his fufu and he was about to eat. He was tired out of preaching and all of that. And I got there, I said, "Pastor, I told you that I'll come and eat from you today." The man was just sitting down. Then let the food, he said, "Take the food." And I ate it. I ate it, even at that time I was young, but with a lot of guilt.
Right.
That I had taken
somebody's
food. But there was nothing I could do. I had to eat it. I don't know what would have happened if I had not.
Yeah.
So when I got that news that I had been employed, my brother, it was the biggest miracle God performed.
That's true.
And I reported to work. The whole tie process of putting on tie to go, my first branch was the Makola branch. That whole process was still a dream. I was wishing that I didn't have to wake up from this dream. Like, it shouldn't be a dream, otherwise it would be a criminal dream.
How long did this dream at Barclays go on for? How long did you stay with Barclays?
Oh, like, I feel that that's the first 2 weeks it dissipated. I felt okay. I was doing my work. And then, but you see, when I was in the bank, and no, when I was in the university, I once in a while during vacation would go back to the lake to work. This time on my own volition.
Wow.
To look for money for my school, to pay my fees and all of that. Then one time when I was at the lake, a child was sitting just close by me, but was shy to talk to me. But I felt that this boy wanted to talk to me. Then gradually, slowly, this boy just asked me, how did you escape?
How did he know that you were once a victim?
He knew. Okay. Because once I was there, I was already letting them know that I was with them, you know. So they can also go.
Right.
They can also go.
Right.
So he asked me, how did you escape? That how did you escape hunted me for the rest of my stay there.
Wow.
And then when I came back to campus, I wrote at the back of one of my exercise books, I turned the question to, how can they escape? That how can they escape was the master plan that was written on my heart, on my mind, on my soul, in my spirit till I finished the university, until I got a job in the bank. And that how can they escape is what turned into Challenging Heights.
Wow.
Because it was just a mission just unveiled by a child who was looking for a way to run away from the oppression. And that explains Challenging Heights.
Wow. We're coming to Challenging Heights in just about 2 minutes, but before that, I want to know how long did you stay with Barclays? I know you're not with Barclays, or you're
I left Barclays so many years ago.
Okay,
so I stayed with Barclays 5 years. From Makola, I went to SU, then I was promoted as a senior staff. Went to Millennium Heights. Those who know Millennium Heights. Then I became a manager.
Wow.
And then at a point in time, I realized that no, it's time.
So you left?
I left.
Was it for the passion of trying to help kids to, escape from child trafficking? Yes.
So when I joined the bank, as part of my prayer, and I used to be a top criffet.
But you were ordained a pastor at birth, so it's not surprising, I guess.
Yes. So one of my top prayers was that God, either I spend 5 years working for this bank and then I'll quit, or in 10 years in the bank I should become the managing director. And by 3 years' time, I knew it was time. But I won an award, a global award, Barclays Global Award, because of my work with Challenging Heights.
Okay, so Barclays actually knew that you were at the time. Okay, that's
I actually devoted 60% of my salary towards establishing Challenging Heights and running it.
Wow.
And so Daily Graphic carried the news, and the bank called me and said, this is incredible.
Right.
How can we support you? And I told them what I wanted to do. So I won their biggest award, global award. And then, so when I came, I wanted to leave. And then they said, no, you can't just win an award from us
and leave.
When your image is found in every single branch of Barclays worldwide. Because, award came with this kind of publicity and corporate social,
that's true, PR,
this kind of PR thing.
Yes.
So my image was being used for that globally. So I had to hesitate, and then eventually I felt, no, the bank had become too constricted for me in terms of my passion for what I want to do.
Right.
So I left.
Okay.
But before I left, I'd already started the organization 2 years earlier.
Would you say that running or starting Challenging Heights was easy because Barclays Bank helped you at the time?
It was not easy. Barclays Bank did not help me as they giving me money.
Okay.
They helped me as in sometimes I'll need time to go and look after the children or travel to the lake. You know, they will say, okay, take some 2 days off, take 1 week off, you know, that kind of thing.
Did you face any challenges while running Challenging Heights? I want to know, because I know you have helped thousands of children, thousands of them. You've rescued them, you've changed their lives. What are some of the challenges that you faced? And then what are some of the success stories that are very dear to your heart?
The challenges, one big challenge had to do with changing the norms. This is what we all knew when we were growing up. My brothers also fell victims, my sisters fell victims. Every home in my community was affected in Sanko. So for me to start that journey of saying, don't take your children to the lake, but let them go to school, was like disrupting the status quo.
So you started Challenging Heights, you started from Winneba?
Yes, from Sanko, from where I was born.
Where you were born,
Yes. So it was a disruption. So there was a lot of, pushback against me. And then also, you needed to support so many children who have now bought into the mission.
Right.
You know, and
of not being trafficked, right?
Of not being trafficked. And you didn't have enough money. I was dependent only on my salaries.
Wow.
So that was also a big challenge for me. And then there was also a challenge of how to go about it. And here I would like to acknowledge one person, Bright Appiah. When I was looking for ways to learn how to write proposals, he was saying, his brother Adan passed on and he had just taken over. He gave me a sample of how to write proposal. And that's what I used to learn how to write proposal. And that's what also changed things for me.
Right. So for those of our listeners who are not really aware of Challenging Heights, I mean, I know we've given them an idea, but what exactly do you do?
Challenging Heights, we are basically addressing issues of child labor, child trafficking, specifically in the fishing industry. We also do farming work, but mainly in the fishing industry. And when I say fishing industry, both the inland and the coastal fishing industry. So from Accra, Winneba, Senya, Ningo, Pampram, Germany, Adan, all those places. Then we're also looking at the lake, from Kwando, Toko, Krachi, Yeji, Bupe, all the way. That is our focus, because the children who are taken there are usually from the coastal areas, and are sent there, and so they are usually used for work, and they are unable to go to school. So that is the kind of thing that we address since we started. But you cannot support children without supporting their parents, especially the mothers, because one of the reasons why the children are sent onto the lake is because of poverty.
Which is what happened in your case. Your parents were poor. Which is what happened
in my case. So we also address the issues of poverty.
So how do you support the mothers?
We set them up in business. We train them. We give them startup support. We do so many things for them to make sure that when we bring their children, they have the capacity
to take care of them.
And then we support the children also in school.
I see.
But we run rehabilitation center in Ghana. We run the biggest rehabilitation center, available for victims of trafficking.
Yeah, because of the trauma, right?
Because of the trauma. A lot of them come with various diseases, including HIV, hepatitis B, bilharzia, all kind of diseases. You can't just take them from the state where they were to their parents when the parents had not seen them for many years.
True.
They don't know how to even handle them. In fact, sometimes when we rescue the children, the parents don't want their children back.
Yeah.
They are
disconnected.
They are disconnected. At that times, the children themselves don't want to go back to their parents.
And you've been doing this since 2003.
2003, yes. Since 2003.
Has it been worth your time? Do you feel fulfilled running Challenging Heights?
I am proud of what I have achieved, but I am not satisfied.
Okay.
I am proud because looking at all that has happened, I should not be sitting in front of you having this interview. I should have died long ago. Yes, even as I sit here, if I tell you what I carry, you have no idea. And I carried them from my childhood.
Wow.
Even up to now.
Wow.
And so, in the midst of all of these things, to achieve this, I'm proud. But I'm not satisfied because there's so many, thousands of children still going through the same oppression. There's so many children who were children with me who could not escape, who could not go to school. Because of that, they are poor. And so they are caught up in a cycle of having children on the lake and using the children also for the same work.
Right. So with Challenging Heights, when you help the kids to escape, do you keep them in a house and take care of them? What is the mode of operation?
Yeah, once we rescue them, we have a rehabilitation center. That's why I said it's the biggest in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes, we have a rehabilitation center where we rehabilitate them. And, I want to recognize the Department of Social Welfare and then Anti-Human Trafficking Unit of Ghana Police Service. They've been very supportive. We rehabilitate them for a number of months, sometimes 3 months, sometimes 1 year, depending on the situation of the child. Then we take them back to their parents. If their parents are still insisting that they are not going to take them, then we find foster parents.
Wow.
But a lot of times the girls, they come pregnant. We had a child of 13 years who had a 1-year-old baby. Just imagine.
13 years.
13 years with 1-year-old baby. When did she become pregnant?
12.
11.
Or 11, yeah.
Because the child is 1 year.
Yes.
No?
So 9 months and then 1 year.
Such a girl, the parents would not want her because stigma. They think that, that kind of thing.
Meanwhile, she was sold into slavery.
she was sold.
So, sorry to because of time we have to try and wrap up. But do you think slavery, child trafficking, and all the other menace around child trafficking are ever going to end in Ghana?
It will end. It's not only in Ghana that the situation is. Overall, in the world, we have 49 million people caught up in the same situation around the world. In Africa, there are about 7 million caught up in child slavery. In Ghana, it's estimated that we have 91,000 caught up in slavery. And in the fishing industry alone, we have over 21,000. So the situation is real. But looking at what we have done, one person, I have done thousands.
Right.
So if another person comes and do more, another person comes and do more, we'll be able to end it. But we need the support of everyone, government support. I am advocating that government should allocate 20 million Ghana cedis every year to the Human Trafficking Secretariat of the Ministry of Gender for them to be able to do their work.
Right.
I'm advocating that everyone, whoever is listening to me, don't think that what I'm talking about is far from you.
Right.
It is not. It's very close to you.
Right.
And one day I will explain why it is very close to you.
I agree. And then you won the World's Children's Prize. How did that make you feel? That's a global recognition.
Yes, I have won 16 major international awards, including the World Children's Prize, which was given to me by the Queen of Sweden.
Wow.
And then the Freedom Award given to me by Archbishop Desmond Tutu. I've also won the Grenell Young Innovator for Social Justice Prize, which gave me some 100,000 for free.
That's good.
$100,000 for free in my pocket.
Money.
That was 2011, so it's
finished.
Gone. So yes, I've won a number of awards and recognitions, and I've been lucky to be around the world, touring and talking about human trafficking and modern slavery, and it's a movement globally. So I'm part of the global movement. Right.
That's very good to know. We have unfortunately we have just 2 minutes to go, so let me quickly read some of the messages. Rasi Beji, I hope I got it right, says an insightful conversation. This one is from a free agent. She says that good evening and thank you for the inspirational story. What led your parents to that decision? Was it hardship and did your father hate you? May God heal every hurting heart and bring a breakthrough. I think you answered that question, so we'll take it there. That's my leader, Doctor. God bless you. That's from Mr. Emmanuel Akom. That is those are some of the messages that we've gotten. But look, there are so many things that I really wanted to talk about. Unfortunately, we couldn't touch on many aspects of your life. But thank you very much for coming. What your final words before you go?
All that I will say is today you have heard me speak about this issue. There's more to it than what you have heard. Get educated and come on board in addressing the issue. There are more children suffering, and there are more children who could become more than me.
Right.
So let's support children.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard the story of Mr. James Kofi Annan, CEO and founder of Challenging Heights, an organization that is at the forefront of rescuing children who have been trafficked, around Ghana. I hope that you have been inspired from slavery to a bank manager to the CEO of a humanitarian organization. Thank you very much for coming, Mr. James Kofi.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this has been Personality Profile. My name is Kofi Hayford. I sat in for Lexus Bale.